give up all its reasons. This new day calls your name. Light up the day with love. We'll find a way as one. Across the world our lives unfold. We're here together. Every moment now, a song we sing out loud. Every road we find, we climb. We are one. We've come so far. We are breaking through. We're standing on the edge of a better view. Who will you be? Don't give up this fight. Tomorrow starts today. All we need is time. Time can pass 1,000 seasons and never give up all its reasons. This new day calls your name. Light up the day with love. We'll find a way as one. Across the world our lives unfold. We're here together. Every moment now, a song we sing out loud. Every road we find, we climb. We are seasons and never give up all its reasons. This new day calls our name. Light up the day with love. We'll find a way as one. Across the world our lives unfold. We're here together. Every moment now, a song we sing 1,000 seasons and never give up all its reasons. This new day calls your name. Light up the day with love. We'll find a way as one. Across the world our lives unfold. We're here together. Every moment now, a song to sing out loud. Every road we find we climb. We are seasons and never give up all its reasons. This new day calls your name. Light up the day with love. We'll find a way as one. Across the world our lives unfold. We're here together. Every moment now, a song to sing out loud. Every road we find we climb. We are We've come so far, we are breaking through. We're standing on the edge of a better view. Who will you be? Don't give up this fight. Tomorrow starts today. All we need is time. Time can pass 1,000 seasons and never give up all its reasons. This new day calls your name. Light up the day with love. We'll find a way as one. Across the world our lives unfold. We're here together. Every moment
Hi. Hello, everybody. Well, we're back again for yet another episode of 101 Reasons to Fall in Love with Young Living. And after last week, I actually, hi, Bill again. Hi, Pam. Thank you for tuning in every week. I really need your support because uh, we're back down to home stretch. I think we have another one or two. I think one, and then I'm going to try to arrange some interviews, and then I'll post them here. So last week we talked about the multivitamins, illuminis, basically mostly vitamins and minerals that our body need, and silver. And this week we're going to be talking about actually the supplements that can help our body combat adrenal fatigue and enzymes. Uh, I haven't seen anybody let me know. Much people have what kind of supplements that you're taking in the comments. So I would really love to see if you have been taking any kind of Young Living supplements and share your experience in the comments. I haven't had a lot of time to interact with the group here, but I would love for all of you to be able to use these recordings for your team or for your friends. My cat is meowing at the back. I don't know if you can hear him. And so I would love to be able to provide you with the information that you need regarding the company, regarding Gary. And so feel free to ask me any questions. So without further ado, we will go on to the presentation for today. Okay. All right. Let me see. All right. Can you hear like everything? The sound is good, right? Okay. Give me some thumbs up if the sound is good. All right. So we're going to be talking about adrenal fatigue and enzymes. So first of all, this is the supplement that I would like to talk about regarding. Oh, I should have switched it around. Okay, let's see. So why do I want to talk about adrenal fatigue? In fact, a lot of people have adrenal fatigue and not realizing it. Some doctors don't say the adrenal fatigue is not something that is real. However, there are a lot of functional doctors and doctors who are more supportive of the integrative medicine industry that support the idea of adrenal fatigue. Dr. Jim Bob have a big session on it. Thank you, Elaine. Also, you're taking Essential Science for Environment. Yeah, those two are really good. Okay, so let's see. So what is adrenal fatigue and how would you feel when you're actually under adrenal fatigue? First of all, I like to look at the faces we can actually tell a lot from the face. If your eyes here near the corner of your eye, if it's quite dark on the around the eyes, it actually means that you're quite tired. And it may mean that you have adrenal fatigue or you're starting. The common symptoms are like chronic fatigue, always feeling tired, very sensitive to light, you need to wear sunglasses, you crave processed sugar, you're more tired waking up than going to sleep, you have trouble staying asleep, easily agitated or poor stress management, blood pressure irregularity, it could be going up or going down, and blood sugar issues. It could be hypoglycemia, or it could also be having really high blood sugar. And the causes is actually it's a long-term health lifestyle choices that cause adrenal fatigue, which a lot of us do make these lifestyle choices, like long-term chronic stress, acute trauma. That's something that we probably cannot control, but sugar addiction, overeating, excessive screen time, not having enough sleep, and hormonal imbalance all cause our adrenals to go haywired. Okay, so what does our adrenal do? It's for our flight and fight reaction. It's a reflex. It's like, I don't know if you're familiar with the idea of the flight and fight. So either when something big happens, you either fight or you have to run, right? It's sort of like, I don't know if you've heard of the story that the mother who has a child stuck in the bottom of a car, suddenly the mother will have this power from nowhere to lift the car and save her child, right? And that is a sort of the adrenal rush when something happens and urgent and acute that we have to react quickly. That is our adrenal. And it helps to protect us. It's a protective mechanism. But when we are constantly under stress and our adrenals are constantly working, you're constantly on a flight or fight response. Your body has to constantly be on high alert. So stress and a lot of lifestyle or you not handling your stress well will all cause adrenal fatigue. Okay, and then so our adrenals are actually behind our back, a little bit on top of our kidneys. You can see on this photo that these are the kidneys and the adrenals are actually on top of the kidneys. Okay, it's at the back here. It's not in the front. Okay, this photo is just a transparent diagram to show. Okay, and then a little bit more information on adrenal fatigue. Signs your adrenals are trying to get your attention. And you can see these are the kidneys and this is the adrenals. So in the morning, you get tired. In the afternoon, you get tired. You easily get stressed out. You get easily anxious. You have sugar or salt craving, low blood pressure, low blood sugar, muscle aches, unknown muscle aches. Like, okay, if you just went exercising, then of course the next day you're going to have muscle ache. But if you just have like normal, suddenly you got muscle aches, joint pain, chemical sensitivity, say for example, to odors and perfume, you can easily get sick, your weakened immune system, chronic infection, you're always having issues with infections, you got hives, a big reaction to bug bites. You know how some people's skin get really inflamed and red after a bug bite. If you have allergies, asthma, eczema, brain fog, impaired memory, could all be a sign that your adrenals are trying to tell you that, hey, we need help. Also, say, for example, premenopausal syndrome, PMS, belly fat accumulation, low blood pressure, dizziness. So the reason why I post a few is because they do have some that are similar, but for example, slow metabolism, easily feeling cold, brain fog, or even depression or infertility, they all may have something to do with your adrenals. Again, I forgot to read my disclaimer. I should be reading my disclaimer because I'm not a medical doctor. The information provided below are for education purposes only and do not substitute for any professional and medical advice. Please consult a medical professional or healthcare provider if you're seeking medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. And I'm only sharing my knowledge and sharing my experience and research. So these are not medical advice, and please go to your doctor or your functional doctor to provide you with your health information. Okay, so, all right, the reason why I'm showing you different types of adrenal fatigue diagram graphics is so that we have an idea of what it actually is, right? And according to my education and my knowledge, when your adrenals are tired, your body burn a lot of minerals. It burns a lot of vitamin B and it makes your body acidic. So in order to combat the effects of your adrenal fatigue and to support your adrenals, minerals are very important. Vitamin B is very important and greens are very important. Unfortunately, as I mentioned in the last class, the food that we eat do not have the same nutrient value and the same mineral content as we would have gotten them, say 50 years ago, especially in the past few years. There's more use of pesticide and herbicide, and I'm sure a lot of us are very familiar and have a lot of ideas about that. And last week I talked about that Netflix documentary that is called, it talks about your soil. Gretchen is going to find me the name again. I urge you all to watch that. If you have Netflix, I urge you all to watch that. It's about our soil and farming, and how our soil is depleted through the past 10, 15, 20, 30 years. And so I always feel like we need supplementation, and the mineral essence is one of the best ones that we can have, because it has all these trace minerals complex. It has 72 trace mineral complex. And two-time Nobel Prize winner Linus Pauling said that you can trace every sickness. Nearly all disease can be traced to a nutritional deficiency, and you can trace every sickness, every disease, and every ailment to a mineral deficiency. And he is a chemistry, if I remember correctly. He got the Nobel Prize for his chemistry research. And he's also said, provided one has the correct level of vitamin, minerals, and nutritional input, the body can overcome disease. And he's also the author of this book, How to Live Longer and Feel Better. You can see that this is an old book. It's been around for quite a while. And these are signs of mineral deficiency: anemia, arthritis, cancer, asthma, constipation, diabetes, high blood pressure, goiter, insomnia, kidney stones, obesity, and migraines. So I just want to show you that how important minerals are. So minerals and enzymes actually go hand in hand in all of our bodily functions. And I mean all of them. All of them meaning your immune system, your body to metabolize food and absorb food, and then using that food to transfer it into energy, using that food to transfer it into the nutrients that our body actually needs, like to MSM to make it into the joint cartilage, or the vitamin B to use it to protect and to synthesize it into something that our body can use. All the vitamins, right? All the minerals, all the nutrients. And in order for our liver to help synthesize all those vitamins and all those minerals into something that our body can use into energy, we need a lot of enzymes. So every bodily function, it requires enzyme and minerals, okay? And that is why enzymes are so important. And Gary actually spends a whole bunch of articles on enzymes. And before that, let's continue to talk about minerals. And another very good way, other than mineral essence, and I know a lot of people don't like the taste of mineral essence because it's so bitter. So thank you, Gretchen, kiss the ground. Yes. And I personally highly recommend mineral essence to everybody. I think everybody needs it. I think everybody needs it like how everybody needs sulfur-soluble. So anybody who has joints, skin, brain, a digestive system, everyone needs minerals. So mineral essence, it's amazing. I add it into my Ningxia Red. It covers that bitterness to it. It also has a lot of essential oils. So when you use it, it's gonna, like, the oil is gonna float to the top. It has a very strong taste. So other than mineral essence, what I highly recommend would be our new Ningxia greens. It has this is the whole gigantic list of ingredients: banana, apple, lemon, wolfberry, sprout leaves, alfalfa, kale, parsley, broccoli, fermented superfood blend, blah blah blah, etc., etc. And what it does, it has 2 to 3 servings of fruits and vegetables in every scoop. What Gary was trying to do was, by making Ningxia Red, he said that because we're not eating enough fruits. And so when Young Living came out with Ningxia Greens, it actually, well, I wouldn't say that if you eat this, you don't have to eat your vegetables, but it's a really good complement. And because it uses a heat-free method to extract all the nutrients, then it gets absorbed and it doesn't get killed. Like we like to call that if you use high heat to extract vitamins. And that's one of the thing about choosing vitamins and supplements, right? You don't know how it's being made. You don't know how they're being extracted. Sometimes, and a lot of the companies, if they're not really focused on bringing health, if they're just like a commercial company, it's all about money, then they want to try to lower the cost and just put the stuff on the label, but it doesn't actually mean that they do have bioavailable phytonutrients. So it delivers, so Ningxia Green delivers powerful dose of antioxidant, vitamins, minerals, and other important phytonutrients. It contains like 60 plus nutrient-rich vegetables, fruits, herbs, algae, and mushrooms. It supports a healthy immune system and digestive health, gives you a boost of energy, and it uses the multi-green proprietary oil blends. And it's also all natural without artificial flavorings and fillers and sweeteners, right? So I actually put it in my smoothie every day. Let's see, this is my smoothie. I actually make two because the jars were like really big. So I throw everything in. So I don't put my Ningxia in. I put my Ningxia together with my mineral essence. Ningxia, every morning I have Ningxia, mineral essence. What else is liquid? Mindwise. And I add all of that in. And then my powder, I have Mega Cal, Ningxia Green, collagen powder. I also drank the Bloom collagen from Hong Kong, the collagen powder, and then I have sulfoxime powder, and then I add like fruits and berries and banana and avocado in it because I love good fat, right? It's good for my brain. So I highly recommend this. With a lot of people would ask, so if I'm taking Ningxia Green, do I need multigreen? I take both. The reason is multigreen is actually made to help alkaline our body, and it reduces a lot of the bad stuff that our body don't need. So it's because of the chlorophyll and the barley and the bee pollen, which bee pollen is also in mineral essence. So if you're allergic to bee pollen, you cannot take both. So this proprietary multigreen blend with all this spirulina, it helps clean your liver. It helps all these grass juices. It's help alkaline your body. I know that because I used to research a lot on supplementation. I know a lot of people who have like super acidic body, like chronic acidosis, have created a lot of problems. So people who are very acidic, what the kind of health problems that they may have would include like candida overgrowth, meaning a vaginal infection, urinary tract infection, recurrence, okay? And then a recurrent, what do you call that? Nail, the fungus in the nail, eczema. So if you have any like digestive issues, if you have any eczema or skin problem, if you have any health immune issues, it means that your body is like very acidic. And so you need to take a lot of supplementation to make sure to raise that alkaline and acidic level, okay? So it is designed to, so multigreen is designed to help clean your liver and enhance vitality for your glands and nerves and circulatory system. And interestingly, when Gary made multigreen, he found out that clinical experience has shown that before putting essential oils in the multigreen formula, there was a 42% blood absorption rate in 24 hours, which is already quite high for supplements. After adding essential oils, the blood absorption increased to 64% in just 30 minutes and 86% in an hour. That's crazy, right? So it concludes that the cells are now receiving nutrients that they have previously not been able to assimilate. And this is taken out from the essential oil test reference, which is out of print right now. I don't know about the new ones. I haven't received them yet. So I placed an order. So this is super important. And it really, all these greens and multigreen and Ningxia greens help your body protect your adrenals. So it may combat adrenal fatigue issues. Okay, so I'm going to break down the ingredients in multigreen because that's what I love to do. So alfalfa, the health benefits of alfalfa. So apparently it's a very good source of vitamin B, and it will help with a lot of different health issues. This is alfalfa sprouts, And then Siberian ginseng, it has all these amazing benefits. It's gonna like relieve a lot of the different health issues. I'm not gonna read them out because I got these from the internet. And then different benefits for choline, memory. It helps with your memory. It gives your body energy. It gives you, well, not only baby brain builder, but it's also for brain. It's also really good for your heart. It's very good for your metabolism. I love spirulina. I think everybody knows that spirulina is a blood cleanser. It helps you clean your liver. It helps you clean your blood. It helps you. In fact, when your liver is clean, all these symptoms will go away, well, slowly taper away. Okay. And then the health benefits of bee pollen, the health benefits of barley grass. So anybody with bone and skin and hair, and anybody who likes to combat free radicals, have a great immune system, have great cholesterol level, you need multigreen, right? So I would take multigreen and ningxia greens together because really, honestly, you really cannot get all these nutrients from food. And what's multigreen and mineral essence, as I've mentioned, it helps you protect your adrenals. So if you had any of these symptoms that may show that you have adrenal fatigue, I highly recommend you take all three. The reason why Super B is because Super B, Ultimate B, has been known to help our body combat stress, and it protects our adrenals. It helps support cognitive function, and it really helps. The reason why it supports your healthy mood is because when your body is super stressed, you will need a lot of your body burns a lot of vitamin B. Okay, and Super B is a special formula that uses organ FA as a source of vitamin B12 that is easily absorbed. So a lot of these are formulated specifically for humans to make sure that they are more bioavailable, make sure that they're more well absorbed. And vitamin B, like Super B, is really important for your cognitive and for your heart and for your, you see, and ease feelings of everyday stress, right? So I highly recommend Super B. I think everybody who sleeps late, who feels tired all the time, who feels bloated, who do not have a good circulation or immune system need vitamin B, okay? So the next one, it's also about adrenal fatigue when you're feeling like always stressed, when you're always, if you're easily agitated, this is the one to take. I used to take it. I don't anymore. I used to live in an environment where I was like always very stressed. So, and I remember my experience from taking Cortisol was I took it, and within half an hour, I was like super chill. I was like sitting around and I was seeing all these people getting really stressed out. And I'm just sitting there thinking, why all the big deal? You know, it's amazing. I love it. I heard that it was originally made for men. Somehow now, most of the time, people think that it's made for women. I think we can both try. So when under stress, the body produces cortisol. When the cortisol level is produced too frequently, it can have a negative consequences such as feelings of fatigue, difficult managing healthy weights, difficulty maintaining optimal health on the fast cardiovascular system. So it's really good for calming because it helps you reduce your cortisol level, right? And brings it down to a healthy level instead of always going, whoa, right? So if you're always feeling stressed and if you're very easily agitated, you can try this. This actually is the product that we have that has the lowest DHEA, which is a precursor for the hormones in our body. Okay, so DHEA is really important. It's a precursor to make all the hormones, and during times of stress, even as cortisol level rise, the ability of the body, it will. Okay, the balance of these two hormones is critical for a normal stress response. Okay, right, let me read this. So DHEA is basically the opposite of cortisol in many ways. Cortisol is a catabolic and breaks things down, while DHEA is an anabolic and builds things up. The balance of these two hormones is critical for a normal stress response. during times of stress, even as cortisol level rise, the ability of the body to produce DHEA falls. Okay, so the consequences of elevated cortisol and reduced DHEA are many. The immune system suppresses in places where you need it, like battling infections, and is enhanced when you don't, like when you put essential oils on your skin, and then you get a massive reaction. Insulin function alters and blood sugar rise. Salt and water is retained. Thyroid functions reduces, slowing metabolism and lowering body temperature. Fat stores more readily in the body. Stomach ulcers may develop. Mood disturbance like depression, insomnia, hunger, and premenopausal syndrome may occur. The reproductive function may change and lead to infertility. Memory and learning is adversely affected. Sleep quality falls. This decreases the amount of growth hormone, GH, produced in the evening. Reduced GH means that you may experience accelerated aging. The list goes on and on. So you want to balance that DHEA and cortisol amount in your body. And that's when cortisol comes in to play. That's when you can take DHEA to maintain your healthy stress managing level, right? And obviously it also has essential oils that will help absorb and also help making sure that this works very well for us, okay? And then another one that is like super important is vitamin D, which is actually a hormone. And interestingly, we all know that we get vitamin D by going under the sun, providing that you do not apply sunblock. And in order, I don't know if you know, in order for our body to make enough vitamin for each day's use, we need to go under the sun without sunblock between 12 to 2 for 20 minutes. Haha. Isn't that so interesting when the Skin Cancer Society tells you to avoid going under the sun between 12 and 2, when your body actually makes enough vitamin D for your immune system when you go under the sun for 20 minutes between 12 noon to 2 p.m. So what do you do without sunblock? So what do? Do you take supplements? So I remember when Gary launched before we launched the super vitamin D, Gary was talking about it, and he said he would test the vitamin D level of his two sons, and Jacob and Joseph were already spending a lot of time outdoors. And supposedly, if you spend so much time outdoors, your body already have enough vitamin D. So when he tested them, the vitamin D level was quite low. And that is why and then before, I remember when in the old days, when I went to convention, there were 2 or 3 years when we could go and do a blood work, like we get our blood taken, and then they will go and do a blood work for us to check our vitamins and minerals and hormonal level. And then we have to sign an agreement for Gary to use those information for his studies, for his research, which we happily would love to do, right? And I remember that he tested so many people at conventions, so hundreds and thousands of people would be willing to give our blood work for his research. So he realized that nearly everybody is vitamin D deficient, and that's why he made this. And this is the daily recommendation for vitamin D. And this vitamin D actually is made by, it's a vegetarian one. Usually the common source of vitamin D is sheep's wool. And however, Young Living uses this plant source, which will, so let me read this. When it comes to selecting a supplement, you'll come across vitamin D2 and D3. Vitamin D2 comes from plant source, while vitamin D3 came from animal source. Your body absorbs both nutrients into the bloodstream, but the liver metabolizes them differently. Studies show that D3 supplements are far more effective at raising a body's serum 25 hydroxyvitamin D concentration. The most common source of D3 is sheep's wool. Yes, you've heard that right. Sheep's skin naturally produces lanolin as a water-resistant layer to protect their wool coat. Sheep-based forms of vitamin D are cheap to produce and easily absorbed by the body. However, another new option of vitamin D3 is from lichen. This is unique because other plant sources of vitamin D result in D3. Lichen, a moss-like organism that is something of a cross between a fungus and an algae, lack metabolizing enzymes that cause the degradation of vitamin D3. This is great news for vegetarian, vegans, and animal welfare activities. Anyone else who finds the idea of ingesting sheep oil unappealing. So this vitamin D, it's a plant-based one. And see, an organic lemon balm melissa, which is extract, vitamin D3 lichen extract, and melissa plant oil, which is amazing for different uses. So do take this in order to, so what does vitamin D do? So vitamin D benefits and sources, mostly it's animal source, right? And sunlight. And then what it does, it's actually vitamin D is a hormone because, okay, here you see this diagram, you go under the sun, or you can supplement, or you can get it from food. I don't recommend getting vitamin D from milk because milk make our body acidic, which will actually create a platform for illness. So, and then vitamin D is absorbed and then is transferred and synthesized in the liver. And then it is being used in the intestine and in the bones and in our immune system. Okay. So the benefits, it's great for bones and teeth. It's great to regulate hormones. It enhances your immune system. It manages your blood sugar level. It helps with concentration, learning, and memory. And it looks like I've been repeating the same benefits for everything that I've been talking about in the past half an hour, which is quite funny. But this is actually really good for the bones, right? And it's really amazing. Oopsie. It's really amazing for the immune system. Okay. It works for everything. All right. Okay. So after vitamin D, as I said, it's not a vitamin. It's actually a hormone because it has to be synthesized in the liver before our body can use it. Another one that is really important, as I said, other than minerals, another one that is super important would be enzymes, right? So what are enzymes? Enzymes are classified based on their target substrates. Lipase split fatty acids into fats and oils. Protease and peptidase split proteins into small peptide and amino acids. Amylase break up carbohydrates and into such as starch and sugar, and break it down into simple sugar such as glucose, which gives us energy. Okay. So different types of enzymes is like a key to a different lock. So all of these functions that our body has needs enzymes, as I said. So even using energy, creating energy for your going to the gym or walking, you need amylase to break up the carbs, the rice or the noodles or the bread that you ate into sugar. And then it needs enzyme to convert it into energy. Okay. So enzymes is crucially important. It helps our body metabolize and uses every single function into the body. And the reason why I put this photo here is so that you can see that enzymes are like keys. And if the key doesn't fit, the lock cannot be opened. Okay. So specific different types of enzymes, and we have 4 in Young Living. So I like to think of it this way: essential enzyme, the heart tablet, and it's actually they say it's a time release. And I was taught by Anna May Powell that if you can bite it, of course it's very hard, so you have to bite it open and then take it. It actually works better. And it's what it does. It helps you break down old stuff. I like to think of it that way. Okay. So remove toxic waste, right? Some of the old stuff. Essential enzyme 4 is to break down the current stuff, the food that you're eating right now. That's why it's being taken with food. So on the box, it says you can either you have to take it before. A lot of times I forget. I find that the reason why I take it before is so that I don't, sometimes after I've eaten, I feel full, and then I take the enzyme, essential enzyme in, and I feel fuller. So if I have taken the essential enzyme 4, it's sort of like, and then you put food on and then it continues to break it down, right? But after you've stuffed yourself and then you put the enzymes in, it has to start breaking down the food from the top, which is the wrong time, because you're eating, it takes about 20 minutes for everyone to eat. So our body start responding to your eating 20 minutes after you start eating. That's why no matter how much you've eaten, after 20 minutes, you'll feel full. So anyway, that's another topic. So it's better to take it before you put food into your stomach. Okay. But if you forgot, it's fine. You can take it with or after. I find that it works too. It's amazing for breaking down fats and proteins, fibers and carbs. It has 2 tablets, 2 capsules. For small children, you can actually open the capsule and mix it into their food. It does have a flavor, but if you're serving them like meat sauce and stuff like that, it should be covered. So Essential Enzyme, the tablet, is for breaking down old stuff. Essential Enzyme 4 is for breaking down the food that you're eating right now. Detox Enzyme is for helping you break down, clean the liver. Okay, so here it says that it's having sensitive issues like sensitive timing, like sensitive nose, sensitive skin. And it does help break down. I like to take it when we're drinking. I find that it helps my liver breaks down the alcohol faster. And I'm not telling you to be an alcoholic, but we find that it helps. And it also helps with hangover. I actually always have a bottle here by my desk. Actually, in fact, Gary used to take 15 before he went to bed every night. So I also have a bottle next to my bed. So I try to take like 5 or 6 every night before I go to bed. It helps because when you go to bed at 11, according to Chinese medicine, at 11, your body, the qi goes to your liver and your gall to help you secrete stuff to break down the toxin to detox for the day. And so if you can't sleep by 11 or 1, like before 1 a.m., your body actually cannot detox properly and your liver cannot detox properly and remove all the garbage that you've taken. The reason why Gary took detoxime 15 before bed was so that when he sleeps, his liver can work with the detoxime and be more efficient. Okay. And Allerzyme, I love Allerzyme when I am eating carbs because I have a sensitivity to gluten. I have a sensitivity to mostly gluten. I don't have any problem when I'm eating rice. So it's just bread and tacos, the wrapper, pasta. So when my response is not visual. I just feel stuffed. And when I take Allerzyme with it, I feel better. Allerzyme is amazing for people who has food allergies. Or after you eat, you will feel very full or very stuffed. Or sometimes after you eat a dessert, it's really good for you to break it down. I take it whenever. So people who have easily allergic reaction, especially really strong, serious allergic reaction to food or pollen or whatever that makes you allergic, I suggest you can take like 4 each time and take like 4 times a day to build up your enzyme reserve. The reason why is because allergies are mostly caused by a deficiency in enzymes. So if you build up your reserve, which I'm going to be talking about a little bit in a bit, I'm going to be reading out Gary's post on enzymes. If you build up your reserve, you will have enough to break down whatever that comes your way. Does that make sense? So I love it when Gary have this, he loves to use the analogy of a bank, right? So enzymes are natural compounds that synthesize many bodily functions. Food is made of chemical elements that require enzyme to break down and prepare it uses for the body. Enzyme release these life-sustaining nutrients from our food. Without enzymes, life would not exist. From glandular function and support to hormone production to toxic waste disposal, enzymes play an important role in everyday metabolic processes in the body. Digestion and assimilation, digestion and absorption from food. All uncooked food contains enzymes. Carrots are especially high in natural enzymes. But once you cook the food, the enzyme is dead. Enzymes require minerals and vitamins to function, and they release minerals, vitamins, proteins, and hormones for metabolic functions. So I took this out from Gary's articles. So enzymes are formed by stringing together long chains of amino acids, which are literally millions of different structures. Enzymes are catalysts that create many essential biochemical reactions. These enzymes are not consumed in the daily process of the body. However, if you are taking ibuprofen, Tylenol, or an antibiotic, if you're receiving chemotherapy or radiation therapy, or if you're cooking your food in a microwave, you're destroying your enzymes, and the enzymes cannot build or develop in your system. Without the enzymes, some metabolic processes would happen very slowly or not at all. Our body has many different kinds of enzymes, but the three major ones are digestive, food, and metabolic. Each enzyme has a specific blueprint and function. Every daily biochemical function of the body requires enzyme to facilitate the building of compounds from the body's raw materials, the unlocking of nutrients, and the breaking down of substances, such as food, toxins, and chemical waste in the body. Therefore, when enzymes are disrupted, they lose their ability to function. So, without enzymes, our body cannot make hormones, and hormones are made in a series of steps. Each step requires an enzyme. Aging is not necessarily to reduce the hormone. Aging may not necessarily reduce your hormone. The higher the hormone levels you can maintain, the longer you will live, the more flexible your joints and muscles will be, and the more strength and elasticity your ligament will have. Then when you're over 60, you'll be able to do what you did when you were 30. So, enzymes and good gut health. This is also from Gary's blog. Okay, the upper stomach is alkaline with a pH of 6.5 to 7, and food remains there for 1 hour, then enters the lower stomach, which is acid with a pH of 2.5 to 5. This is really critical in helping maintain good pH in the stomach. And how do you do that? Two things are really critical: enzymes, number one, and two, probiotics, intestinal flora. Okay, so you have to have good intestinal flora, which is Life 9, and enzymes to maintain a good pH range in the gut. If you don't, what is the end result of not having good pH? Burping, gas, excessive acid, bloating, headache, stomachache, all those wonderful things that we sometimes experience. Supplemental enzymes come from plants, microbial fermentation, and animal sources. A lot of you may be vegetarians, and I just wish for you to pay close attention because I feel that I can speak your language quite well. I was a strict vegetarian for 27 years. I lived that life and felt it was really valuable, except for one thing, not enough: enzymes. When you're young in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, it's really easy to be a vegetarian. When you hit 40, however, things start to change a bit. All of a sudden, particularly for you ladies who have had children, when you start to notice that your energy is down and your skin doesn't feel as soft and firm as it used to. You start to get a little lines around your eyes, but you feel that you shouldn't. Estrogen is needed to maintain beautiful skin for you ladies. And when you're a vegetarian, you have a very difficult time maintaining proper estrogen levels after the age of 40 if you have had children. Now, if you haven't had children, you can probably make it to 50 before you really start noticing it. But in today's world, I really doubt it. For you men, it's not any different, but it takes a little longer for us to notice the effects since we're not having babies and the alterations to our body that take place in women's body. So a man may get to 50 before he can't run quite as fast, can't jump quite as high, or can't bench press quite as much. Why? Because his testosterone levels are low. If he is having problems as a married man, that may be an indicator to him. Testosterone. That's what allows a man to run fast, jump high, bench press, and do the things he did when he was 20. So what can we do to help our bodies produce hormones? Replenish our enzyme reserve, including animal enzymes. Okay, all right. So he actually, he continued to have an article about a bank, which I'm going to explain here. Okay, so let me continue to read. Enzymes enhance the absorption and utilization of food, nutrients, and their production decreases in the absence of live food, disease, stress, aging, and petrochemicals. So he likes to use this enzyme savings account. You're born with a savings or reserve account of enzymes, except for amylase. I'm sorry, these are like tiny. I'm reading. They're like super small. I think they're like 1 mm small. I should go get my glasses because it's really far away. I'm sorry, hold on a second. I can't find my glasses. I'm just going to have to lean in. You're born with a savings account, reserve account, except for, oh, okay. You're born with a savings or reserve account of enzymes, except for amylase, which you are supposed to get from your mother's milk when nursing. As a baby, when you start eating fast food or frozen food, you are dead foods. You're eating dead foods because they're devoid of enzymes. The enzymes you're born with will have to come out of the reserve account to do the digesting. It's like you're taking out a loan. As you keep taking out more and more on loan, pretty soon your savings account is spent. Then all of a sudden, when you eat what you have eaten before, you have a reaction. It may be bloating, water retention, acid burning, reflux, coughing, or headache, but it's a reaction. A reaction may also be an allergy. Why is it that wheat is the staff of life, according to God, and yet a large amount of people are allergic to it? And it's not just wheat. Some people are allergic to anything with gluten in it. How many of you have allergies? Why are you having that reaction? Because your storage reserve, your savings account, has been depleted of enzymes. How do you replace your reserve? You have to eat live food and drink live juices, or you have to supplement with enzymes. Okay? So I love this idea of a savings account of enzymes. In fact, I think it's a savings account of not only enzyme, but nutrients, right? Phytonutrients like vitamins and minerals and all those wonderful things that help our body maintain our health, right? So savings account, remember that, okay? So every time when you're taking your enzymes, you're telling your body that I'm saving money, this is my savings account, okay? And 8 signs that you might have an enzyme deficiency: food intolerance, digestive issues, poor nutrients absorption, weight gain and obesity, weaker immune system, fatigue, anxiety and depression, skin problems, okay? I have this graphic that I got from Young Living Hong Kong, which they did an amazing job. I could not find it in English, so I would have to put this here to remind myself how to explain this. So we do a lot of education. So essential sign 4, it's the perfect combination with life 9, as I mentioned in the previous page, that in order to maintain our gut health, probiotic essential sign 4, okay? And then post eating, you can take some alkaline to help your body stay alkaline. And after that, to clean is Juvatone, Comfortone, essential sign 4, right? So essential sign 4 is a crucial supplement that everybody should be taking along with their meals every day. I love this because it's very easy to take. It comes in like a pack like this. I always have these here. Every time when you take it, you take a white one and a yellow one with meal. Sometimes when I eat a lot, I take 2 sets. Okay. And you can, as I said, you can open the capsules and mix it into food for children. It's powerful multi-spectrum enzymes. It uses a dual stage release technology that allows plants and animal enzymes to be released into the digestive tract at different times for better digestion. Okay. One is the animal enzyme, which will be released in the lower digestive tract because of the environment of the small intestine is more alkaline, which is more suitable for the absorption of animal enzyme. The capsule that contained the plant enzyme are released within a few minutes after entering the stomach. Released, and then the stomach environment is more acidic, which is more suitable for absorption of a plant enzyme. So both capsules have essential oils and make it more bioavailable. Okay. And essential sign, the one without the 4, it's the one for breaking down old stuff, right? Breaking down old things, stimulate overall enzyme activities is not only for digesting food, it helps clean the liver, it helps break down accumulated toxins in the digestive tract, it helps with healthy pancreatic function. So I really, in the beginning, when I started taking essential sign, I would take 3 in the afternoon, 3 in the morning, and 3 at night. I did not feel any difference. Now, if I take essential sign, within like half an hour, I have to run to the bathroom. So it works. So I would suggest, like, if somebody were to come to me, I would suggest that start with essential enzyme 4, because that's like what you really seriously need every day when you're eating, right? And once your body has gotten used to the enzyme, essential enzyme 4, maybe 3 months, 6 months, you can start taking essential enzyme. You may have a better experience because it has already break down a lot of the blocked stuff that is stuck in your gut. I really like essential enzyme. I don't take it often. I don't take it religiously, but I think it's really good because I've seen the results. Like, I really poop more. And then allerzyme, as I said, is vegetarian. So vegetarians can take allerzyme, and helps working with your natural body's all functions. It helps break down like any kind of allergies, food sensitivity, and it's one of the most important digestive system in the banks and in your enzyme saving accounts. It helps with like bloating, gas, and all these things that has to do with allergies. That's why it's called allerzyme. Detoxzyme, it's amazing for the digestive system. It breaks down the food. It helps detoxify and promote body cleansing. It's also vegetarian. It helps release occasional symptoms of food craving, stress. It's really good as a tox cleansing and detox program. Most of the time, I use it to help my liver, right? But the reason it's really good to help you break down toxin from air pollution and from processed foods. But the reason why I wrote down beware of candida problem is in the beginning, when I first started using Young Living, I took detoxzyme, and then suddenly I have all these candida issues on my skin, on the corner of your ear and the corner of my mouth. And then I realized when I went to Ecuador, I realized that I actually have a lot of candida in my body. And so when I took the detoxzyme, my body was trying to get rid of it. So I actually slowly started doing other cleanses, and then I am able to take detoxzyme without any problems. So when you're taking an enzyme and then you're getting reaction from it, you're feeling bloated, you're feeling like rashes and all that, it's actually mean that your body is overloaded with toxin and your body is trying to get rid of it from the skin. So I would suggest, like, first of all, you can stop. And then the second of all is to drink at least 3 liters of water every day. 3 liters of water. I don't know how many ounces that is, but it's 3 liters. Okay. So clean, 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 because our body needs water to flush out all the toxins. I find that most people do not drink enough water, especially in the US. Most people like to drink flavored drinks. When I say water, I mean water. I don't mean soda. I don't mean juice. I don't mean apple juice. I don't mean Coke. I mean water. Okay. Well, if you don't like unflavored water, you can buy the Vitality Drops. It's sweetened with stevia, and so you can safely flavor your water. Just make sure that if you put it in soda water, because there's citric acid in it, it's gonna blow up. Okay. But if you add it in flat water, it's fine. So please do drink more water, especially when you're taking a lot of enzymes. You have to drink a lot of water, because water is one of the best medium for our body function to work. Okay, that's important. Okay, Juvatone. The next one, so as I said here, essential enzymes work really well with Juvatone right here. So Juvatone helps clean the liver, and it helps protect the liver and support the liver. So it's an excellent source of choline, which I talked about before. Everything helps with cleaning the liver, and it also helps create glutathione, which is really important for detox and antioxidant. When you take Juvatone, you have to take it with essential enzyme so that your body uses the enzyme to break down the garbage. Okay. And another one is drinking tons of water. So there's a cleansing trio, which is essential enzyme, Juvatone, and Comfortone, right? Okay. I suggest, if you're taking Juvatone in essential enzyme, I suggest you take ICP daily also. It's a fiber drink. It tastes amazing. I love the taste of it. Sometimes I add it to my smoothie, so I don't have to drink a ton of stuff. So you can see that this photo is actually a before and after photo I got from the internet. So ICP Daily is a prebiotic and fiber drink that's delicious. It contains powerful ingredients, including agave, inulin, guar, prickly pear, and it's made for detoxification progress. It's made for maintaining your healthy gut microbiome. It's made for helping you get rid of your poop. And it's called, we used to call it IC poop. ICP, that's what it stands for. No, that's not what it stands for, but we call it IC poop. So it helps you with your poop. It's really good. So if you're, with ICP Daily, after you've taken it, you have to drink at least 8 ounces of water, okay? A gigantic glass. Otherwise, it won't work as well. It may even actually block you up and then cause constipation if you don't drink enough water. So drink water. Water is super important, okay? And then the next one that I suggest is if you're taking Comfort Tone, you also have to take ICP Daily, okay? I've had people who actually got all stuffed up with Comfort Tone because the gut is so blocked up, like the colon is so blocked up, that after they've taken Comfort Tone, their poop is actually less, like they get constipated. So this one, I suggest you have to be careful. And when you're taking Comfort Tone, you have to make sure that you really have to drink at least 3 liters of water, okay? And every ingredient in Comfort Tone, it's amazing, like all these Native American herb, psyllium seed husk, this diatomaceous earth. It helps cleanse the digestive system. It has a lot of minerals, and it helps and like absorb all the bad stuff while giving you back the trace minerals to support your body. So, and barberry, it helps with weight loss. It's very beneficial for type 2 diabetes. It's very good for hyperlipidemia and non-alcoholic fatty liver. And it helps with like H. pylori and all these amazing ingredients in Comfort Tone. It's all in one, really. But remember, you have to be drinking tons of water, okay? Okay, alkaline helps alkaline the body because study shows that the body, when it's acidic, it can create a lot of havoc health problems for everybody. So I would like to spend some time to explain what alkaline and body acidity is in the next few pages. In fact, alkaline is just calcium carbonate. Isn't it interesting? Here it says calcium as calcium carbonate, like calcium phosphate and calcium sulfate, and then sodium. So what does it do? Why is alkaline calcium carbonate? So so on the market, when you go to look at calcium, there are different types of calcium. So there's like calcium carbonate and calcium citrate, right? So chemical nature, calcium carbonate is alkaline, calcium citrate is acidic, right? And so you need to know that the reason why alkaline is just calcium is because when our body is acidic, it needs calcium to alkaline to neutralize the acidity, okay? To neutralize the acidity. And when we do not take enough calcium carbonate in, when our body wants to try to balance that acidity, it will go directly to the place where there's the most calcium and take that calcium and alkaline the body with it. And the body that has the most calcium will be our bones. That is the reason. In fact, there was a Chinese documentary that talked about, and the person who wrote that Miracle Magnesium book also mentioned that according to her research, people who drink cow's milk actually have a higher rate of osteoporosis. The reason is because when they drink cow's milk actually makes the body pasteurized cow's milk, which is most of the cow's milk that is being sold in the supermarket and the grocery stores, pasteurized cow's milk. And when you drink pasteurized cow's milk, the body becomes acidic. It has an acidic ash value in the body. And when our body is acidic, it pulls the calcium out of the bones. And so you deplete the calcium of bones and eventually cause osteoporosis. Interesting findings, which is true because if you do your research, you see that. So when people tell you that in order to have healthy bones, you have to drink cow's milk, that is actually not true. And in order for the body to absorb enough calcium, the magnesium proportion of the calcium needs to be a proportion of 2 to 1. Say, for example, a glass of milk has 500 mg of calcium. It needs 250 mg of magnesium in order for the calcium to be absorbed into the body and be used. But however, the amount of magnesium in milk do not reach that 2 to 1 ratio, meaning that the calcium that is being drank into the milk from the milk cannot be absorbed and used in the body. Okay, so you can say, oh, it doesn't matter, then I can add magnesium into the milk, but you don't know what kind of magnesium it is, and you don't know what kind of calcium it is in the bones, in the cow's milk. So you might as well just not drink it. In fact, almond milk has the same amount of calcium as cow's milk, but it also has the same proportion of magnesium in every glass of almond milk. So you might as well drink almond milk, which is better than cow's milk if you want the calcium. So anyway, a long story about calcium. I've done a lot of research on calcium. And the reason why alkaline is calcium carbonate is so that the body will not pull the calcium carbonate out of the bones in order to neutralize the acidity. This alkaline itself will neutralize the acidity. Okay. And all right. Explaining pH, correlation between chronic acidosis and bone diseases. Calcium in the form of phosphate and carbonate in our body stored house of salt. To combat acid loads such as the modern diet, these salts are released into the body's various circulation system to maintain pH stability. I actually translated this from a Chinese article because I couldn't find it in English. Chinese people, we have a culture of nourishing our bodies. So it's very common to take supplements and to understand about health and how health theories work. So I can easily find these information in Chinese, but not so much in English, actually. Anyway, and a lot of them are like translated. Anyway, so it is estimated that over time, the development of modern diets, the amount of calcium lost in urine can be as high as 480 grams, or even almost half the calcium in bones. However, calcium loss in urine is not a direct measure of osteoporosis. There are a number of regulatory factors that may compensate for urinary calcium loss. The arterial pH is within the normal range. A mild decrease in plasma biocarbonate result in negative calcium balance, which can be counterbalanced by supplementation with carbonate in the form of potassium bicarbonate. It has also been found that bicarbonate increases dietary alkalinity without increasing potassium intake, which reduces the amount of bone loss in healthy older adults. Bone minerals that is wasted in urine may also not be fully compensated for through intestinal absorption, which is thought to contribute to osteoporosis. However, adequate vitamin D allows the body to absorb adequate amount of calcium, magnesium, phosphate. Sadly, most people are deficient in vitamin D, especially in the northern areas, which is colder, which you get less sun time. In chronic renal failure, correction of bicarbonate metabolic acidosis significantly improves parathyroid hormone levels and vitamin D activity. Recently, a study showed the importance of phosphate in, I don't know what this is, according to this formula, an increase in phosphate leads to an increase in the amount of urinary calcium loss and decrease in calcium balance in the bones. So what it's trying to say is that when you have a diet that is fully acid loaded, your body will be prone to osteoporosis. In fact, many other health problems, including, but not limited to, like candida, cancer, inflammation, joint problems, bone problems, immune problems, okay? So it's very important to maintain your body pH. So the acidosis cycle, you can easily find this. So here you can see that alkalinity, the more alkaline your body is, the healthier you are. And the more acidic your body is, the more sick you can easily get. So to show you an alkaline chart, alkaline ionized water, raw spinach, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower has a pH value of 10. And 9 is like raw zucchini, raw eggplant. These are all raw blueberry, pears. And then 8, which is more neutral, is like apples and turnip and radishes. But these are all raw providing, okay? Because once you cook it, it's different. Most tap water is neutral, okay? Slightly acidic. Milk, yogurt, eggs, kidney beans, processed juices, cocoa, rye bread, soy milk, goat's milk, rice, almond meal, okay, liver. So it takes 20 parts of alkalinity to neutralize 1 part of acidity, okay? Let's see what's the worst, like lamb, shellfish. Worrying makes your body acidic. Pork, pastries, soda, pickles, lack of sleep. Chocolate, equal, which is the sugar. Processed food, wine, cheese, black tea, stress, overwork, vinegar, aspartame, which is the sugar in diet sodas, and microwave food and soda, which is 2.5, which is off the chart. So if your diet is mostly containing 3 or 4 pH, you got to find a way to alkaline your body, right? And that's when alkaline comes into play. Okay, interesting, right? Well, you can always rewatch this. So I know there's tons of information provided here, but because you can always rewatch, I'm just going to give you everything. 7 supplements. I said today we're going to be talking about 7 supplements. So I also talked about Life 9 just now. So probiotics and enzymes, remember? So Life 9 and Mighty Pro. Life 9 is in a capsule form. It has 9 different strains. So sometimes when you go and buy a probiotic on the market, they usually have 1 to 2 strands. Most is like 3, unless you go to like a really good health food store that sell really, really good probiotic brands. Then you can find a probiotic with over 5 strains. Most of them have under 5 strains, and Life 9 has 9 strains. These are the strains that are more suitable for the human body. Like there's special strains for animals, for children, and for adults. Life 9 can also be taken by children. Our children start taking it like when you're like 1 or 2 years old. Okay. Mighty Pro is being made for children. It has prebiotic and probiotic together. Prebiotic is actually the food for probiotic. So what it does, it helps maintain that level by also feeding the probiotic. Okay, so I like to tell people to take both, even adults to take both. Take Mighty Pro in the morning and take Life 9 at night. Gary said the best way to take probiotic would be at night. I know that on the market, a lot of functional therapists or naturopaths ask you to take it in the morning because they're afraid you'll forget. But in fact, the reason why the best way is to take it at night is because the candida actually come out and play at night in your guts. And especially when your liver is trying to detox, it's a good time to work with probiotics. So take the Life 9 at night and take Mighty Pro in the morning. Okay, Mighty Pro is made for children. Look, there's like infant strains in there. And then it's very similar, but you can see that this one, Paracase, it's actually the probiotic for like pet what do you call it? Worms. Like, you know how children, they play on the floor, they play in the garden, they put everything in their mouth. It's very common for children to have worms. So this probiotic may be able to help them with the problem because of the strands that we have. These two, some of them have a duplicate, but some of them Life 9 do not have in Mighty Pro and Mighty Pro and vice versa. So I think it's good to take both. Take 1 pack of this in the morning, take 1 at night, something like that. Again, I'm not a doctor. It supports really good gut health. In fact, study shows that pregnant women, when they take probiotic during their pregnancy, the baby that they give birth to have a 80% reduction rates of developing allergies, including like sniffing allergies or food allergies. Okay, so if you're pregnant, this is definitely a yes. Also, people who have, I remember there's a Nobel Prize winner. He said that all cancers are caused by candida, something like that. So you would want to really up your probiotic level. Is really important. Okay. So let's see, what are the different benefits of probiotic? It helps you maintain like a good mood. In fact, a lot of people say that depression are also caused by very low low level of not enough probiotic in the system. And because the gut and the brain is connected so closely, we call it the brain gut axis, right? So if you find that you have like foggy brain, if you have memory issues, it could also very well be your gut. So 80% of our immune system is in our gut. In order to keep our gut healthy, not only through diet, but you also need a very good quality probiotic supplements. I found all of this on the internet. Also the gut-brain axis, the microbiome triangle, probiotic, and then healthy guts and good brain, healthy brain, right? Cognitive, it's very important. So probiotic benefits, it's good for your digestion, it's good for your allergies, it's good, it will may help you improve your liver, it may be able to help you balance all of your like blood sugar, blood cholesterol, and all of those levels. So it's just generally very beneficial. Okay. All right. I am at the end of this super powerful knowledge presentation. So I have come to a little bit of a Q&A session, that these are a lot of the questions that I receive when we talk about supplements. A lot of people have said, so which do I start? Where do I start? Is it okay to take so many supplements at one time? So it depends on your body. Obviously, I suggest people do not take everything in one go. I have taken supplements since, I think, for 20 years on and off. Since I started with Young Living 11 years ago, I've been consistently taking Young Living supplements. I've been consistently drinking Ning-Charette every day, and I consistently take Ning-Charette, Mindwise, and Mineral Essence every day. I take Silverzyme, Agilis, Multigreen, Omega Gies, Life 9 Super D every day. Sometimes I'll take Super B when I'm tired, and I've been doing it for 10 years. Okay. And if you're taking like synthetic supplements, I suggest no. But if you're sticking with Young Living supplements, you can keep taking it because it's so easily absorbed and so bioavailable. You don't have to worry about overloading the body. So you can take it for a long time. Of course, you might also pay attention to your own physical condition. When necessary, you can stop it and observe the changes in your body and start again in a week or two or in a month. That is why in some of our supplements, they will give you an instruction of taking it for 3 weeks and then stopping for a week, is so that you can see how your body is reacting. Okay, I've been taking it and I've tapered off. Like in the beginning, I really honestly take a ton of supplement. In the past 2-3 years, I've tapered off to the basic stuff, which is what I told you just now. Those are the basic stuff. Foundation nutrition. Those are my foundation nutrition. And then I also take essential enzyme for while I eat. Okay. But I've boosted up my reserve for like 8 years before I slowly taper down. Okay, so do I need to stop after taking it for a while? For hormonal ones like Theramine, Cortisol, Femigen, you may need to take for a few months and then stop and observe the change in the body, because these supplements may be able to kickstart your own body and make your own. Okay. And in case of targeted or cleansing, it depends on the needs. For example, like Parafree, Comfortone, and ICP, you can take it for 3 weeks and then stop for 1 week. It's best actually to refer to the essential oil desk reference if you have one. And the most important thing is observing your own body's response, right? Nobody knows you better than you. And if you don't know you, then nobody else would. It's just like if you don't love yourself, nobody would love you. If you don't take care of yourself, nobody would be able to take care of you. That's that sort of thing, right? So I suggest you observe it for 4 days. And when you're taking it, if you're taking it, I suggest you take one. You don't take all of them together. You take one, and then you will observe yourself for 4 to 5 days. And if there's no adverse side effects, you can take the second type. You add it on, right? And then you add the second one, and then observe yourself to like 4 to 5 days. And then on the next week, you start a third one. You add on a third one. The reason is, if you take it all in one go, you don't know if you have an adverse reaction, like if you have a rash, or if you're starting to feel bloated, if you have constipation, or you have diarrhea. You don't know which one is the one that is making your body respond that way. And then if you do it like one at a time and wait a few days, because if you have an adverse reaction, or if you have like that, if it causes you like constipation or rashes, it will show up the next day or the next 3 days. So do that, add on every 4 to 5 days, and eventually work up to all of the ones that you want to take, right? So it's a process, it's a journey. I mean, good health is a journey. Good health is not a destination. Good health is a process, and it's a life journey. We all maintaining our food and our health every day, right? It's like eating. I look at supplementation like eating food, because it's the nutrients that our body so essentially desperately need, especially for the enzymes. Okay, so what do I do if I have any kind of symptoms? Reduce the size or stop altogether, drink at least 2 to 3 liters. Notice if you're drinking enough water, most people who have adverse reaction, it's because they're not drinking enough water and flushing out the toxin, okay? And if you're drinking water, you can add 2 to 3 drops of lemon essential oil per liter to help detoxify. If the skin, I'm sorry, I translated this from Chinese. If you have skin issues, especially on the face, a lot of the times it's emotional detox. If you have skin issues that detoxes out, a lot of times it's either you're missing silverzyme, you're lacking silverzyme, or you are having releasing emotional issues. If you're releasing emotional issues, use emotional oils like Release or Idle Blue Spruce and stuff like that. And most of the skin issues, if you take silverzyme, it will help, because Gary said, I actually have a video that recorded that Gary said, if you, after you put oils or you take the supplements, if you have a rash, it means that you are deficient in MSM, you're deficient in silverzyme. So you have to take silverzyme. And how many should I take? Well, in the beginning, follow the bottle instruction. And if you're weaker, I recommend that you just start with the bottle instruction and not start many things at the same time. I think, and then add another product every 4 days if you're feeling good. If there's a detox reaction, you know which one is causing it. I suggest everybody should go on Ningxia Red. The next one to get on would be silverzyme. Yeah, would be silverzyme. And you can start with like three capsules 2 times a day. That's what I did when I started. I'm not telling you, I'm not diagnosing, I'm not giving you a medical advice. I'm just telling you what I do. And then I started going up, and I started taking 3, 4 a day, twice a day. The maximum that I've taken is five capsules 3 times a day. But they say that you can check the last week's episode. I talked about silverzyme and I talked about how much to take. Okay, so Ningxia Red and then silverzyme, and then mineral essence and mind wise. These are the things that I think everybody needs. And you will feel the difference with mineral essence and mind wise. You will feel a difference with silverzyme. You will feel the difference. And then you can slowly see what else you need and add on. Okay. So that's all for today. There is a lot of information already in the past 2 weeks. I would love for you to be able to re-watch them and watch it with your friends and do watch parties with your friends. And again, this group is for members only. Please do not add people who are not Young Living members in, because they will not understand, because I am somebody they do not know and we do not have rapport. So it's best that you you learn the information and then you share with your friends, like storytelling, okay? And next week, I forgot to change this. Next week, I'm going to be talking about skincare, okay? Next week, we're going to be talking about skincare. Oh, so we have 2 more classes. We have 1 more on skincare, and then we have 1 more on essential oils. Next week, I'm going to be talking about skincare and what I do and what I use. And if you want beautiful skin, and it's not only limited to women, because men also love looking good, and your skin actually reflects your health. Your face actually reflects your health. Like Chinese doctor, we always say that when we look at somebody's face, we already have an idea of how healthy they are. And that is so true. So next week, we're going to be talking about skincare. Okay. And until then, do share and do post on your own Facebook and hashtag 101 reasons for YL, what you have learned from this class, and introduce it to your friends. Do watch parties, add your friends who are Young Living members into this team, into this group. And I will see you next week.